Hey everybody, it's Joey, Valley TCG. Hope everyone is having a great day, a great week. Hope everyone is enjoying the long weekend. Well, I should say maybe like hope you guys have a long weekend. I do know there are folks who don't get Monday off, but uh, nevertheless, hope you guys are having a good day. Let's talk about this OP05. So I've decided that I'm just going to do a full kind of product review for hits, kind of byproduct. And you know what? I wanted to start with OP05 because this is, I think, my favorite set of all time. To me, it is totally an S tier, and I think that this is going to be one of those sets that is going to retain value for a long time. You can still probably find this at MSRP or close at MSRP on the secondary markets, or I guess at MSRP from Bandai events. I'd imagine they have a decent backstock of this because demand for this product was so high initially. But I think I'm going to go over not just this set, but every set for the best hits that you could get from the set, right? Um, I think being a little bit more methodical about approaching a product review basis will be helpful for everybody. I think it will be helpful for me to see where prices have gone because things do go all over the place. So anyways, if you guys could, before I do my rundown, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate everyone's support. I'm super excited right now. Right now, especially with One Piece, prices are moving a little bit higher for the collectible side of the game. And still very reasonable if all you want to do is play. And I think this is the best time for One Piece, whether you're a collector or a player or something in between. So, anyways, OP05. Starting off with the booster box, like I said, I think very collectible long term, $177 right now, shipped, or maybe no, not shipped, like maybe 185, 190 shipped, depending on where you are in the country. Really reasonable price. If you can find it at Bandai events, if you can find it at cons that are selling lower than this, I think it's absolutely a collector's item. Maybe one comment I should say is right now, as a product becomes more vintage, I think as more players kind of come in and exit the hobby and come into the hobby and exit the hobby, I think the collector side of the base will grow over time. I think if we're just kind of mathing this out, I'm just throwing numbers out there a little bit, but I think the collector side is maybe 10, 15% of the population, like pure collectors, right? And then you have a decent number in the middle who are players and collectors. And then I would say like pure players, probably 30, 40% of the population, if not higher. So this is much more of a playable skew type of TCG. And over time, I do think that shifts. We've seen it with other hobbies. Definitely, I think it will happen in One Piece. But we are starting to see more people become collectors, people who are keeping these boxes sealed for a long time, like myself, to be frank. And I absolutely love this development. And then we have a lot of cards to run down. OP05 had an awesome number of really, really cool hits, starting with the manga Luffy. This is obviously unlightly played, but wow, only five copies right now for so this is English. It's not Japanese. From Sully's Abode, 2,700 bucks. This is the lowest available. I think that's absolutely crazy still for a card that's it's already been out for a while. Tons of supply out there. So I think this is a grail. If I could ever happenstance upon this card, that is never leaving my collection. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely getting graded. This card, I think, is probably the most collectible card in all of One Piece TCG. 7 copies, lowest being 1315. Yep, 1315. I think there's always going to be more manga arts. Definitely going to be more Luffy manga arts. At least for now, there is just one Ichiro Oda card, and I think this card is, to me, more collectible, even more so than Gear 5 Luffy, which we just saw. And I think the trajectory, I know this is on the downward trajectory. It's definitely peaked at release. But over time, I do think that the only way for this card to go is up. Law, uh, kind of this is on lightly. It's always on lightly played. Sorry about that, guys. Very strange. $1,000 around release time, all the way down to $700. I like this card. Not my favorite, but I do like it. Kid, also, I like this card. Also, not my favorite. Yeah, this was $900. Now it's $400. I think $400 is really just a natural place for this card. It is a nice card, a nice art, but from a like a relative comparison perspective, like let's say it's either this or another manga art of the same price, like Sabo, for example, it really comes down to your own preference. I wouldn't, there's nothing about this card that I would say like perfectly stands out. Um, of course, a beautiful, beautiful Nami SP card, around 250. I believe this was almost 300 at one point. Although it went all the way down to $100. I wonder if that was real, but $100, and then now it's closer to $200. Um, I think a pretty reasonable price for this card. Very, the fact that we've had all these reprint waves and you had this V-shaped recovery, to me, that tells me there's a lot of underlying demand out there. There's a number of Nami collectors out there as well, and this is definitely one of the top tier Nami cards. So this is a decent price. Uta, let's see. Yeah, $100, $100. I think I still have. Yeah, I definitely graded my copy. I was so excited when I pulled this card. This is from one of the first boxes I've ever opened from OP05. And then the price went all the way down to $40 a card. Now it's closer to $100 a card. I think a pretty natural price for this card. Also if you're a Uta collector for some reason, this is, top of the list to have. There's not that many great Uta cards either, so this being an SP and absolutely like this gorgeous background art, I think it makes this card very collectible. And then Yamato SP, this card, yeah, around 83, $84. I'm not like a huge fan of this card, to be frank. Wow, this was $45. So it kept a lower or a higher floor, but so far a lower ceiling than the Uta card. Go figure. Um, yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of this card. I don't know what it is, but yeah, $82 makes sense to me. And now I think this card is really great looking. I think this was, yeah, like I was gonna say, like this should have had even lower floor than everyone else. Um, yeah, 33, $34, but because of the art, now it's kind of rivaling the Yamato, and I think very reasonably so. And now the big face leader card. If you're a leader collector, this is for you. $60. Yeah, I mean, seems a little bit expensive. Yeah, so after some of the rotations in meta, this went all the way down to $26. Now $60. This is again, I think it's becoming a little bit more playable as a leader, but not the best. And they did just release the winners, or I should say, the players and what leaders they went into for the Japan championship, their nationals, and I didn't really see anybody playing NL. So yeah, not the best in meta rotation, but still, I think if you played an L back in, you know, '05, '06 era, like this is a nice collector item for you. But it's interesting to see prices have like, you know, almost doubling from the lows, despite not being super meta relevant. Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, Purple Luffy. Yeah, I mean, this was meta relevant, at least in the US, trickling down. Now, $60 from the lows of 30, still pretty reasonable price. I do think that we're like, if you're a collector, and I think there is going to be a number of just leader collectors out there. There's going to be SP collectors, there's going to be leader collectors, there's going to be, you know, certain character collectors. Um, I think leader collectors, I mean, that to me is going to be a pretty big facet of the collector base, in my opinion, because there's just so many cool ones and different arts. It's just a great way of expressing your love for the game, right? Um, so I think there's the market for this. Moving onwards, Kaido. Yeah, I mean this used to be a very cheap card. So $30, beautiful card. I think this is probably one of my favorite arts from the set. Yeah, Sakazuki, guys. So people are speculating that Sakazuki could be unbanned in some format. Um, there's announcements that they're going to update the ban list soon. I mean, as of today, I haven't seen it yet. If it just came out like, you know, 20 minutes ago, maybe I'm totally, you know, off base. But as of today, I haven't seen it yet. So the card in my earlier video, you know, I talked about this is a card around $20. You should definitely have it for your collection because people are going to like to have this for their collection. Whether it's because of that, whether it's because of the rotation or ban list updates. So this card is $40 now. So pretty good gain in about like 10 days. All right, this card, yeah, so Gear 5 Luffy, alternate art of the secret rare. I freaking love this card. This is such a cool art. I think the price is probably too low for what this art is. Um, then we have Bello Betty Leader. Yeah, I mean, you know, people like to just have this card for playability purposes. Glass Cannon. So that's why the price is $30. And then Lucci. Lucci's still $25. Poor. Oh, well, actually, no, not true at all. $34 for the lowest gold star seller. And yeah, so $18 just a few months ago, $32 today. Or wait, no, $34 today. This is a beautiful Rebecca card. I don't know why this is so cheap. I thought there'd be more Rebecca collectors out there. She is an absolute favorite for obvious reasons. Um, $20 at the lows, now $30, $30 ish, 34, 35 35 was shipping. So what is that? 38 shipped from a Hidden Fortress for the lowest copy of Gold Star Seller. Yeah, I think this card is just going to keep going up. My opinion only. Zorajuro, we don't have to talk about this, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of movement due to, I believe, meta changes where this card could be playable. Don Quixote, Rosinante. Man, thy TCG store. This dude is just trying to crater prices. Don't look at this guy. This is just fake. $30 for $30 for this card. Pretty reasonable if you're a leader collector. Yeah, this used to be like just $10. $10. No one wanted this card at the really trough here. And there are Rosinante collectors. I did see a comment from one of you guys saying that you are your favorite character is Rosinante. So um, $30, reasonable, not really cheap though. All right, so $15 at the lows for Sabo. I wonder if Sabo ever become playable. Yeah, $20. Maybe not as right now. Like you think with maybe Revolutionary Army being an underutilized archetype, maybe that could be a big deal later on. We'll see. Not right now, at least. Kidatsu, then alternate art, $16. This used to be very playable. Definitely no longer, or at least to the cadence and the demand that used to be. Wow, $7 at the very bottom. So, yeah. Uh, okay looking card. Not my favorite art. This kid, this used to be very playable as well. And then a reprint hit for this card in OP01, I believe. No, not OP01, PRB01. So the card accordingly dropped. Um, yeah, so $16, $17 for lowest copy. $19 shipped, if you will. Okay price. I mean, if you want to be a low end alternate art collector, you can be. Just know that I've tried that and it's never really worked. So if you're looking for a kind of price movement, it's all going to be meta rotation. So Baby 5, $15. Yeah, these look legit. So $16 shipped. And then, oh man, weird. Gathering data for what? Okay, hopefully this works. Wow, it used to be $40. Crazy. Now went all the way down to $10 around Christmas time. So we're just gonna speed through some of the rest of this because they're all kind of the same, like $10 or $11 for a koala. Good, used to be good in the Betty deck. I thought this card would be more expensive. I think this deserves to be more expensive. It's used to be at least very playable, and then black used to be the best color as well. And I thought this card is super pretty. One of the best Lucci cards. $11. I think that's cheaper than where the SR base used to be. Bello Betty alt art, $5. Wow. This doesn't seem real. So $7. Just go with that. $7 for this card. Crazy. And now the SR version of this card. Pretty beautiful art. You can just kind of tell how manic he is in the arc. And this card perfectly reflects his character. Used to be $25, went all the way down to $5, and now up to 10. So I do think there's maybe more upside here. I just think the art itself is pretty legit. This card, so this is the base version of the signature Monkey D. Luffy alt art. Yeah, I mean, it used to be $5, now $7. I think this is probably more collectible than most of the alt arts that we've seen at this price point, right? $10, $15 price point. So I'm surprised this hasn't gone up a little bit more. Maybe is because this was pretty easy to hit. You're able to get, I think, 2 copies of this per case, so the population of it was quite high. So, and then the Kaido card, we'll see the base version in a minute there, but yeah, like $6, $7. Sad that they never really made this into maybe more playable, but at 10 drop and Animal Kingdom Pirates not being really huge in the meta, like kind of understandable why this is not a more expensive card. Mancherry, this did have some meta applications, just not really all that expensive. Let's see, yeah, $8. $8, great. $15. I did talk about this in one of my earlier videos. This did go up to close to $20. Said to probably sell this. Now it's down to $8. Borsalino, pretty looking card, $5. And then Ulti, also a pretty looking card. Like I said, Animal Kingdom Pirates, not huge in the meta. Yeah, so went from $14 down to $3, now at $5. Not crazy. The secret rare Luffy, this used to be, I want to say like $20, $30. Let's take a look. Maybe only 15, so might be no, this is lightly play. Let's look at near mint. Yeah, still 15 bucks. Now down to $5. Yeah, we'll see if this gets more play. I think this minus 10 Dawn type of thing is just really uh, unfortunate. It's hard to play around that. Um, and then Law, absolutely beautiful card, but only $4. Crazy. So really pretty card, only $4. It's too bad. Uh, Drake, $3? Oh, imagine if you just hit a Drake in this set when you're opening a booster box of $180. Or even worse, what if you hit a Pika at $2? Ugh. Ugh. It was only as high as $5, so this is, from a percentage basis, it sucks, but if you hit this card, it's like you're kind of screwed, no matter where you were during the lifetime of the card. And then now we're getting into the even sadder stuff, $2 for Sabo. And then lastly, $1 for Kaido. I think they reprinted this as part of BRB as one as well. So just why did they reprint this? It wasn't even playable. So weird. Anyways, that's it for me on OP05. Still one of my favorite sets of all time, if not my favorite set. Let me know what you guys think of the cards in this set. Do you think it's going to be collectible or not? Like, comment, and subscribe as well. And I will talk to you guys next time.